The assistant pressed Unfogging the Future into Harry's hands. Anything else? He said. Yes, said Harry, tearing his eyes away from the dogs and dazedly consulting his book list. I need Intermediate Transfigurations and Standard Book of Spells Grade 3. Harry emerged from Flourish and Blots 10 minutes later with his new books under his arm and made his way back to the Leaky Cauldron, hardly noticing where he was going and bumping into several people. He tramped up the stairs to his room, went inside and tipped his books onto his bed. Somebody had been in to tidy. The windows were open and sun was pouring inside. Harry could hear the buses rolling by in the unseen Muggle street behind him, and the sound of the invisible crowd below in Diagon Alley. He caught sight of himself in the mirror over the basin. It can't have been a death omen, he told his reflection defiantly. I was panicking when I saw that thing in Mongolia Crescent. It was probably just a stray dog. He raised his hand automatically and tried to make his hair lie flat. You're fighting a losing battle there, dear, said the mirror in a wheezy voice. As the days slipped by, Harry started looking wherever he went for a sign of Ron and Hermione. Plenty of Hogwarts students were arriving in Diagon Alley now, with the start of term so near. Harry met Seamus Finnegan and Dean Thomas, his fellow Gryffindors, in Quality Quidditch supplies, where they too were ogling the firebolt. He also ran into the real Neville Longbottom, a round-faced, forgetful boy, outside Flourish and Blots. Harry didn't stop to chat. Neville appeared to have mislaid his book list, and he was being told off by his very formidable-looking grandmother. Harry hoped that she never found out that he pretended to be Neville while he was on the run from the Ministry of Magic. Harry woke up on the last day of the holidays, thinking that he would at least meet Ron and Hermione tomorrow on the Hogwarts Express. He got up, dressed, and went for a last look at the firebolt, and was just wondering where he'd have lunch when someone yelled his name and he turned. Harry! Harry! They were there, both of them, sitting outside Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor, Ron looking incredibly freckled, Hermione very brown, both waving frantically at him. Finally, said Ron, grinning at Harry as he sat down, we went to the Leaky Cauldron, but they said you'd left. And we went to Flourish and Blots and Madame Malkin's, and I got all my school stuff last week, said Harry explained. And how come you know I'm staying at the Leaky Cauldron? Dad, said Ron simply. Mr. Weasley, who worked at the Ministry of Magic, would of course have heard the whole story of what had happened to Aunt Marge. Did you really blow up your aunt, Harry? Said Hermione in a very serious voice. I didn't mean to, said Harry, while Ron roared with laughter. I just lost control. It's not funny, Ron, said Hermione sharply. Honestly, I'm amazed Harry wasn't expelled. So am I, admitted Harry. Forget expelled. I thought I was going to be arrested, he told Ron. Your dad doesn't know why Fudge let me off, does he? Probably because it's you, isn't it? Shrugged Ron, still chuckling. Fame is Harry Potter and all that. I'd hate to see what the Ministry would do to me if I blew up my aunt. Mind you, they'd have to dig me up first, because Mum would kill me. Anyway, you can ask Dad yourself this evening. We're staying at the Leaky Cauldron tonight too. So you can come to King's Cross with us tomorrow. Hermione's there as well. Hermione nodded, beaming. Mum and Dad dropped me off this morning with all my Hogwarts things. Excellent, said Harry happily. So, have you got all your new books and stuff? Look at this, said Ron, pulling a long, thin box out of a bag and opening it. Brand new wand, 14 inches, willow, containing one unicorn tail hair, and we've got all our books. He pointed at a large bag under his chair. What about those monster books, eh? The assistant nearly cried when we said we wanted 2. What's all that, Hermione? Harry asked, pointing to not 1 but 3 bulging bags in the chair next to her. Well, I'm taking more new subjects than you, aren't I? Said Hermione. Those are my books for arithmancy, care of magical creatures, divination, study of ancient runes, Muggle studies. What are you doing Muggle studies for? Said Ron, rolling his eyes at Harry. You're Muggle born. Your mum and dad are Muggles. You already know all about Muggles. But it'll be fascinating to study them from a wizarding point of view, said Hermione earnestly. Are you planning to eat or sleep at all this year, Hermione? Asked Harry, while Ron snickered. Hermione ignored them. I've still got 10 galleons, she said, checking her purse. It's my birthday in September, and Mum and Dad gave me some money to get myself an early birthday present. How about a nice book? Said Ron innocently.